Yeah, yeah, I'm living my best life. Made a couple M's, you know. Said I'm living my best life. Said I'm living my best life.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Random Opinions, Reaction Reviews. If you don't know who I am by now, you gotta get with the program. Before I start, go ahead and hit that like button. If this is your first time here, your girl's name is Laminda Monet. Add me on Instagram at Laminda Monet. And if this is your second or third time here, sweetheart, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe, you know you want to. If this is your second or third time here, you know you want to hit that subscribe button. You know you do. Alright, now that we gotten that out the way, I'm coming to do a review on the episode that aired on General Hospital today. Today's date is September 9th, so let's go ahead and get into this.
We start off with Scotty on the phone with Franco, and he's telling him, look, you got to get this ankle monitor off of me, and if you can't do that, then I'll have to get another attorney. Liz rolls up. She fills him in on what happened with Kim and Franco and how he's wanting to leave town. And Scott tells her, you know what, he might be leaving town sooner than we think because Chase never identified himself as a policeman. So technically, at max, they can only charge Drew with a misdemeanor. He says since she's the next of kin, she would be able to commit Franco into the Shady Brook, but he's worried that that will push Franco away even further. And Liz is like, okay, do you have any more options? And he says he has plan B. And he tells her to go talk to Andre and he'll handle everything from there. And then we see he's looking at a phone with Sonny Corinthos' name on it. Liz, she goes to visit Andre and he tells her, look, there is a possibility that he can go ahead and do the procedure and restore Franco's memories, but there is a 1 out of 4 chance that the procedure will work. So the other possibilities is that he does the procedure and there's no effect. He does the procedure and it works. He does the procedure and it intensifies Drew's memories, or he does the procedure and leaves Franco in a vegetative state. So now Elizabeth has some choices. She has some choices to make. So we have a scene with Sonny talking to Julian, and he puts a whole wad of money on the counter and he says, here, call it a goodbye present. And Julian's like, Sonny, what do you want? And Sonny just wants the pictures that are in Charlie's because they hold a special place in Mike's heart, and he wants to be able to deliver these pictures to Mike in his facility to help him with his memories. Julian is like, here, Sonny, I'm not gonna sell those pictures to you. So Sonny, Sonny was like, you know what, I should have knew you was gonna leave Port Charles classless. And he's ready to go in on Julian, and Julian is like, look, I don't need your money because I'm just gonna give them to you. I'm actually fond of Mike. And Sonny was like, oh, sorry for calling you classless, but everything else stands. Because you know, they kind of had a bro moment, but Sonny wanted to nip it in the bud and let him know this is not a bro moment. I still don't like you, and you still shouldn't like me. And Julian's like, look, you ain't saying nothing but a word. So Brad runs into Willow and Michael at the hospital, and they are loving on Wiley. They're happy that he's safe. Michael even says, you know what, Obrick kind of had a genuine moment where she was happy that Wiley had 2 loving fathers, and Brad was like, that rich. Because he already knowing what that meant. That was a stab at him, but, you know, Michael doesn't know because Michael doesn't know that Wiley is Jonah. So after that statement, Brad was like, you know what, I'll have to take Wiley back to daycare. I got a couple runs I need to make. And Michael says, you know what, keep Wiley here with me and Willow. We'll watch her until Bobby gets here. So he agrees and he leaves and he goes to Julian. And he tells Julian, you guys, he's like, you know what, I have a problem in the name of Liesl Obrecht. And Julian's like, why would you have a problem with her? And he tells Julian that Obrecht was the one that actually delivered the baby. So then freaking Julian starts to put everything together. Okay, the stranger in the park was Nell. And Obrecht delivered Nell's baby. And this was the time where Michael was in an accident. So actually, this is Michael's baby. I mean, his mind just, boof. If it could have bust, it would have. He just starts putting 2 and 2 together. And he asked Brad, say it's not so. You've been keeping Sonny Corinthos' baby and you included me in on this? Like, he was pissed, and he has every right to be. So how Julian decides to move tomorrow, I guess we'll find out. But Julian, please, I beg of you, do not keep this secret for Brad. Do not, because it's going to strain your relationship with your kids, and you're already starting to rebuild your relationship. You have to tell Lucas, Julian. If you hear anything, hear that. You have to tell him. Do not hold another secret for Brad, because Brad isn't a good person, because he decided to bring you in on this drama knowing all along this wasn't good. Julian, tell. I tell you, tell. Monica goes to meet and see Frank and Drew, and she knocks on the door. He answers, and she says, "Hi, Drew." And he's happy that she even referred to him as Drew. So he invites her in, and she clearly wants to get to know him. So she wants to know all about Drew from beginning to 2012. And he says, you know what? I can tell you everything you want to know, but how about helping me out? If Scott gets in the way of me being able to get this ankle monitor off, then you step in with your Quartermain influence so that I can get out of Port Charles. And she makes a deal with him, like, yes, okay, I can do that. She also extends the Quartermain mansion to him, and he's like, look, that's not a part of the deal. So he's not interested in like getting to know Monica at all, because he has this preconceived notion of her and the Quartermains. He's just pretty much using her influence to get the heck up out of town. Curtis and Jordan, they put their heads together to find out where Drew is. You know, his plane disappeared off of the radar, so nobody knows where he's at. Sam and Jason, they're thinking the same thing sitting at Kelly's diner. And Sam is like, if there's something that happened to Drew, this is terrible, because y'all know Sam is Drew's baby mama. You know, they share Scout together, so of course she'd be worried, because if something happens to him, Scout grows up without her biological father. You know, she has Jason there, but it's not the same as your biological father, you know. And Jordan calls Jason and Sam to the PCPD to be able to collab with them. So Jordan, Curtis, Jason, and Sam, they put their heads together, and they get to thinking of motives. They reach out to places, and they find out that the co-pilot and the pilot don't exist. They were wiped off too, and it's because whoever it was anonymous. So they know somebody is after Drew, and somebody was also after Andre, and they suspect Shiloh has something to do with it, but they are putting their heads together to find out exactly who's involved, because they know it's got to be somebody with money and influence, and that had Andre and both Drew in common. I hope their heads are ticking, and they're thinking about Peter. Jordan gets a call from the WSB saying that they found Drew's plane, and it doesn't look like that there were any survivors. So you can tell Sam was a little worried. And you know, Curtis, that's his friend, so he goes in to kind of like comfort Sam and let her know, this is Drew we talking about. Drew is okay. If we know anything about him, we know he's resilient. He'll be fine. Jason leaves to go tell Franco. He knocks on the door, and Monica is leaving out, and he's like, you know what? I actually came here to see Franco, but it's good that you're here because I have some important news to tell you. So he's going to tell her that Drew is missing, and as of right now, they think he's dead. So Monica, she's lost too much. I'm hoping that they don't decide to kill the Drew Kane character off. Please don't do that. Bring a recast, because Monica cannot lose another child. She's lost too many. Scott met with Sonny, and the plan B that he has is for Sonny to use his influence to keep Franco into Port Charles if his legal measures don't work. And Sonny doesn't give him an okay. He doesn't give him a yes or no. He said he'll see what he can do, but he can't make any promises.
All right, so that was all for today's episode. You guys, let me know what you thought about it. Let me know your predictions. I love to hear predictions. Let me know your predictions. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to receive notifications when I upload new videos. Don't forget, subscribe, okay? I will see you guys later. Bye.
I finally made my mind, know that I can't go back broke. They saying that my time up, my back against the ropes. I hustle, got my grind, know that when I make the most. I had faith every night and I never lost no hope.